Students, yesterday or in the previous video, we saw receipts and payment account. We saw that accounting for not-for-profit organization, we have to prepare receipts and payment account, income and expenditure account, and balance sheet. Now, receipts and payment account is like a cash account. It's a real account. If you follow the traditional method of accounting principles, and according to the modern method, it is an asset account. So debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Or you can say when the asset increases, debit; when the asset decreases, credit. So whenever there is inflow of cash, when cash is coming inside by way of income, any source, income from any source, if cash or through bank, if money is coming into the firm, it will appear on the debit side or receipt side. Any type of payment, irrespective of capital or revenue in nature, it will appear in payment side. Okay, so income of cash, receipt side, and outflow of cash, payment side. Now here you have to keep in mind the receipt, which can be of revenue in nature or capital in nature, and the payment, which can be revenue in nature or capital in nature. I have already explained these things in my previous video. Revenue receipt or revenue expenditure is something which is recurring, which happens many times in a year, like salary, payment of rent, interest received, rent received, subscription received, and all. Now, capital expenditure and capital receipts are something which happens rarely, maybe once in a year. Like sale of land. Sale of land is a capital receipt. Purchase of land is a capital expenditure. Now, receipts and payment account does not differentiate revenue and capital. All items, revenue and capital receipts, are recorded on the receipt side, and revenue and capital expenditure, once cash is paid, are recorded in the payment side. Now this has to be given importance because the next item which we are going to see is income and expenditure account. Now income and expenditure account does not follow this. It recognizes only those income and expenditure which are revenue in nature. So you may ask, where will the capital items go? Where will the capital receipts and capital expenditure go? They will go to the balance sheet. As and when we proceed to the next balance sheet topic, you will understand it. Okay. Now coming to income and expenditure account. Yesterday in my previous class, I gave you a briefing about it. It is like a profit and loss account. Even though we call it income and expenditure account, the debit side is expenditure and the credit side is income. It is a nominal account by nature. Debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. This you have to remember, the first point. Second point, it doesn't have any opening balance. You can see there is no balance carried down, brought down. There is no balance brought down, or there is no balance carried down. Profit and loss account also doesn't have an opening or closing balance. Whereas receipts and payment account has opening balance and closing balance. Okay. Now you can see on the debit side we have all the revenue expenses, and on the credit side we have all the revenue income. Okay. Now the next point which you have to keep in mind is income and expenditure account is based on accrual basis. Accrual basis means irrespective of cash received or not, if an income is said to be accrued in a given year, it is shown in the income side. Similarly, irrespective of cash paid or not, if an expense is said to be outstanding, if we have already received the benefit and we have to pay the expense, irrespective of whether we have paid or not, it belongs to the current year and it will be entered in the expenditure side of income and expenditure account. This is another concept which is different from your receipts and payment account, because receipts and payment account is not on accrual basis, it is on cash basis. Okay. Now the third point which you have to keep in mind is, continuing the same accrual basis, any income received which belongs to the previous year or next year will not be shown or should not be included in the income. Similarly, any expenses which we are paying in the current year, if it belongs to previous year or if it belongs to next year, see, it may be outstanding expense of previous year paid during this year, or it may be prepaid expense of the next year paid during this year, current year. Such outstanding expenses of previous year and prepaid expenses of the next year have to be excluded. This you have to remember. Okay. Now let us proceed. How? What all items? We have salary. See, outstanding at the end of the year is added. What is outstanding at the end of the year? It is current year's outstanding salary. So if you have any current year's outstanding salary which we have to pay but we have not yet paid, it will be added with salary. This will appear in the adjustments in your question, and this salary appears in the payment side of your receipts and payment account. From there we get these figures. Now, outstanding in the beginning of the year. Outstanding in the beginning of the year is actually previous year's salary outstanding which is paid during the current year. This belongs to previous year. So it is not current year's expense. It has to be subtracted from the salary. Okay. Same rule is applicable for any kind of expenses. So rent is an expense, expenditure side. Insurance premium is an expense, expenditure side. If we have any prepaid insurance, prepaid means for the next year. If we have paid this year itself, the insurance premium which actually belongs for the next year, it has to be deducted, reduced. Audit fees, printing and stationery, honorarium, telephone expenses, repair, depreciation will be given as an additional item, additional information. Then sports materials used. Now, how to calculate sports materials used, I will teach you in another video. It has a calculation. Coming to the income side, you have subscription. Now, in the subscription, if you see, you have additional, add outstanding at the beginning. Sorry students, add outstanding at the end. What is this outstanding at the end? If you have any subscription accrued, it is an income, isn't it? If you have any subscription accrued, that is outstanding, at the end of the year, it is actually current year's outstanding subscription. It has to be added because even though income is not received, revenue is said to be realized. Similarly, if you have any advance in the beginning of the year, it means last year, previous year, someone paid subscription which belongs to current year's subscription. Even though it is received previous year, it belongs to the current year's income, so it will be added. Similarly, less outstanding in the beginning. In the beginning of the year, if you have any subscription outstanding, it is actually subscription outstanding belonging to previous year, which is paid in the current year. As per accrual concept, this doesn't belong to current year's income. It is previous year's income, even though cash is received in the current year. So, this has to be subtracted. Next, less advance at the end of the year. Any advance at the end of the year, any advance at the end of the year belongs to subscription paid in advance for the next year. So it is advance payment of next year, advance receipt of next year. So it's an income which belongs to next year, even though cash is received this year itself. So this has to be subtracted. Next, entrance fee, it is revenue in nature, whereas life membership fee is capital in nature. You have donations, sale of old newspaper, hall rent, that is if you have rented a hall for some marriage or occasion, birthday party, You will get a rent from those people who have used the hall. Then you have sundry receipts, okay, other receipts. Now you have to total. If the income side is more, write the income side's total on both the sides, and you have surplus. That is the balancing figure. Total of the income minus total of the expenditure will give you surplus, excess of income over expenditure. If the expenditure side is more, then you have to write the expenditure side total on both the sides, and from the total of expenditure you have to subtract the total of income, and you will get deficit. That is excess of expenditure over income. It is either or. Either you will get surplus or you will get deficit. Okay? Is it clear, students? So let us see summary. Income and expenditure account, it is a nominal account. Debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. Then even though we call it income and expenditure account, the debit side is expenditure and the credit side is income. It is accrual basis, that is irrespective of cash received or not. If an income is said to have accrued or occurred during the current year, it will be shown. Similarly, irrespective of cash paid or not, if an expense has occurred, the benefit of which we have received, it will appear in the expenditure side, that is the debit side. The same thing is this, it records only current year's income and expenses, previous year's income and expense, previous year's income received in the current year, and previous year's expenses paid during the current year has to be excluded. Similarly, next year's expense, prepaid expenses, or next year's income received in advance has to be excluded. Only current year's income and expense, irrespective of whether received or not or whether paid or not, will be entered. It records only revenue receipts and payment, which means it does not record capital receipts and payments. Capital receipts and payment means assets. Purchase of asset is a capital payment expenditure, and sale of asset is a capital income receipt. This appears in the balance sheet. Similarly, if you receive any grant or donation or legacies which are specific in nature, it will appear in the liability side of the balance sheet. It will not appear in income and expenditure account. We will have a separate class on this topic. Balance. I told you, income and expenditure account doesn't have opening or closing balance. It has either surplus or deficit. See, when you prepared profit and loss account last year, you had profit on the debit side, so surplus will come in the debit side, and you have loss in the credit side, so deficit comes in the credit side. Adjustment. Yes, you have to make adjustment for prepaid and outstanding expenses and income. That is what I explained to you here and here. And this prepaid and advance income and expenses is not something new. You have already studied it in your financial accounting for sole proprietor, final accounts in 11th standard. Okay, students? Now there is another point that I have to stress here. I call this the X method or the cross method. It is a term which I give. How will you prepare income and expenditure account? Suppose you have receipts and payment. Okay? The cross method is all the revenue received will come in the income side and all the revenue payments will come in the expenditure side. This is the cross method or the X method. Okay, children? Now, in your question, most probably, receipts and payment will come as the question, as a part of the question, and you will have the additional information. You have to prepare income and expenditure account. So, all the revenue receipts will go to the income side and all the revenue payments will go to the expenditure side. Then you have to put the adjustments for outstanding, accrued, prepaid, advance. Then you have to put the adjustment for depreciation, any interest received or interest paid, and your income and expenditure account is ready. Now this I call the X method or the cross method. So keep in mind, revenue will go to the opposite side income and payment will go to the opposite side expense. Okay, is it clear? Students, this is your NCERT book. The link to download this book I will be giving in this video description. Page 13, you have steps in the preparation of income and expenditure account. It is nothing new, whatever I explained, the same thing. First one, pursue the receipts and payment account thoroughly, means look at the receipts and payment account thoroughly. Then exclude the opening and closing balances of cash and bank as they are not an income. So opening balance of cash and bank and closing balance of cash and bank also, both opening and closing balance of cash and bank will not come in your income and expenditure account. And remember, the opening balance will not come anywhere. The closing balance of cash and bank is actually cash in hand and cash at bank. It is an asset. It will appear in the asset side of balance sheet. Step number 3, exclude capital receipts and capital payments as these are to be shown in the balance sheet, the point which I stressed just now. So only revenue items have to be considered. Revenue means recurring, day-to-day expenses, day-to-day income, monthly expenses, monthly income. So consider only the revenue receipts to be shown on the income side of income and expenditure account, and some of these need to be adjusted by excluding the amounts relating to the preceding year and succeeding periods and including the amounts relating to the current year not yet received. What does this mean? Certain revenues and expenses have to be adjusted. What kind of adjustment? Excluding the amounts related to preceding year or succeeding year. Any income received which belongs to previous year or any income received which belongs to the next year will appear in receipt side because cash is coming in. But this has to be excluded as this bill does not belong to the current year. Similarly, any expense which belongs to previous year or next year, previous year outstanding or current year's prepaid, that is next year's expense paid during current year, even though it is paid during current year, it belongs to previous year or next year. So this also has to be excluded, minus. Similarly, any income or expense which belongs to current year but not yet received, that is income accrued or expense outstanding, has to be added. This will not be there in the receipts and payment account, but it has to be added. So this is a major important point which you have to keep in mind. Next, point number 5. Take the revenue expenses to the expenditure side of the income and expenditure account with due adjustments, like all the adjustments from the additional information provided and relating to the amount received in advance, the advance and those not yet received. Whatever explained in point number 4, take all the revenue expenses to the expenditure side. Similarly, take all the revenue payment income, that is revenue receipts, to the income side. This is the cross method or X method which I explained just now in my previous slide. Now point number 6, consider the following items which will not appear in receipts and payment account. What are those? Depreciation, provision for doubtful debts, profit or loss on sale of fixed assets. You already know the treatment for these things. You have studied this in your 11th standard. Depreciation has to be subtracted. Depreciation appears on the expenditure side, that is the debit side, and it has to be subtracted from the respective asset in the balance sheet in the asset side. Provision for doubtful debts will appear in the debit side, that is expenditure side, and it has to be subtracted from debtors in the asset side. If an asset is sold at a profit, it will appear in income side. And if an asset is sold at a loss, it will appear in expenditure side. However, the total value, book value for which the asset is sold, has to be subtracted from the respective asset in the balance sheet. Okay, so this is what I explained just now. Till now, children, I have repeated the same explanations 3 or 4 times. Now we will see illustration 2. Okay, so I am having illustration 2 here. From the receipt and payment account given below, prepare the income and expenditure account of Clean Delhi Club for the year ended 31st March 2017. So as I told, receipts and payment account will be given as the question, and additional information will also be given. With the help of receipt and payment account, you have to prepare income and expenditure account. Okay. So in this question, we do not have any additional information. So you have to follow the cross method. What is the cross method? All receipts, revenue receipts, will go to the income, and all revenue payments will go to expenditure. That is the first cross method. The second step, only those receipts and payment which belongs to the current year should appear in income and expenditure account. Okay. Now I'll remove this mark. We'll proceed to the sum. Balance, opening and closing balance will not appear anywhere. Now subscription, yes, it is a revenue receipt, so it will appear here in the income. Entrance fee, yes, it is revenue in nature, it will appear here. Whereas life membership fee, if you have life membership fee, it will appear in balance sheet. It will be added in the liability side with the capital fund. Donations, since it is a general donation, the purpose, specific purpose is not given, donation will be considered as revenue in nature. It will appear in the income side. However, if you have a specific donation in the receipt side, it will be capitalized and it will be shown in the liability side. Rent of hall, yes, it is revenue in nature, it will come in income. Sale of investments, now you are a not-for-profit organization, your day-to-day activities will not involve sale of investment, and sale of investment is an asset, sale of asset. So it is capital in nature, it has to be deducted from the respective asset in the balance sheet. Of course, if these investments were sold at a profit, the profit would appear here. If it were sold at a loss, the loss would appear in the expenditure side. Now coming to the payment side, salary, rent, electricity, taxes, printing and stationery, sundry expenses. All these are recurring revenue in nature. They will appear in expenditure side. Books, however, is an asset. You purchase books and you use it for more than a year. Not for profit organization is not, see, it's like books in the library, in our school library, isn't it? It is accounted, recorded, and it is there in the library for more than 3 to 4 years. So books come under fixed assets. It will be reflected in the asset side of the balance sheet. Government bonds. Government bonds are investments which we make in government certificates. It is same like a fixed deposit in a bank. Instead of depositing it in bank, we are giving the money to the government. It is a kind of debenture. Bonds and debentures are almost similar. Okay. So this is an asset. It's an investment. So this will appear in the asset side of the balance sheet. It will not appear in the expenditure. So this is a capital expenditure. So now you understood what is capital receipt and what is a capital expenditure. Fixed deposit also. Fixed deposit is usually for more than a year. So fixed deposit is also a capital expenditure. It will appear in the asset side of the balance sheet. And as I mentioned, opening cash in hand and cash at bank will not appear anywhere. but closing cash in hand and cash at bank will appear in the asset side of the balance sheet. So it will not appear in expenditure side. Now you have to total. In this sum, the income side is more. Write the same total, the expenditure, subtract all the expenses, and you get the surplus amount. You have to write surplus and within brackets excess of income over expenditure. It's very simple, children. Okay. Now we will see illustration 3, page number 15. From the following receipts and payment account for the year ending March 31, 2015 of Nagy's Club. So you have to write in the books of Nagy's Club for the year ending 31st March 2015. You have to write this heading. See, they have written it. And then you have to write income and expenditure account. Prepare income and expenditure account for the same. So you have opening balance which will not appear anywhere. You have subscription for 3 years. This is what is different, something different in this question when compared to illustration 2. In illustration 2, we just had subscriptions. So we took the full amount of subscription, 22,500 on the income side, here, top. Whereas in illustration 3, you have split ups. So the current year is, now again children, don't get confused. Current year is 2014-15. Okay. See, 31st March 2015 means 2014-15. So 2014 is current year, 2013 is previous year, and 2015 is next year. When you have such 3 classifications or 3 divisions of subscription, always take only the figure pertaining to the current year, 10,000. So only 10,000 will appear the cross method. I hope you remember receipts, income. So only 10,000 rupees will appear in the income side of income and expenditure account. If you see here, adjustment 4, subscription accrued 400. Accrued means income outstanding. We have to receive in the current year, but we did not receive. So this will not appear in receipt because we have not received the cash. But according to revenue realization concept or accrual concept, it is an income of the current year. So it has to be added. You are supposed to show it in the inner column. You should not write it like this. You have to write subscription 10,000, add subscription accrued 400, total 10,400. Okay. Then donation. Now donation, it is not mentioned that it is for any specific purpose. So it's a general donation. General donation is revenue in nature. It will appear in the income side. So donation appears here, the cross method. Next, hall rent. It is if the not-for-profit organization has a hall, if it has rented out the hall for some birthday parties or occasion. You have this Andhra Mahila Sabha in Adyar. You also have a Raj Palace, Hotel Raj Palace, and there they rent the hall for birthday parties and wedding reception and all. So it is a not-for-profit organization and they get rent from the hall. That is the hall rent. This hall rent is a recurring revenue receipt. So it will appear in the receipt side, income side of income and expenditure account. Next, what else do we have? Interest on bank deposits 450. Yes, interest on bank deposit is also recurring in nature. But if you look at the adjustment, the third adjustment, you have bank interest receivable 150. Interest receivable is income accrued. We have to receive, we have not yet received. So with 450, we have to add 150 and it will appear as 600. Okay. Then entrance fee. Yes, entrance fee is also revenue in nature. It will appear in the income side. Where is entrance fee? Children, a point which you have to keep in mind, entrance fee is supposed to come here. So you can write it as an important note in your notebook or in this textbook. As per NCERT syllabus, entrance fee is considered to be a one-time payment, a capital item. So they are not showing it. But as per CBSE syllabus, we are following CBSE syllabus. As per CBSE syllabus, entrance fee is a revenue item. So it will appear in the income side of income and expenditure account. Write it as an important note. So entrance fee will appear here. Entrance fee. It has to appear here. Okay. Then. Now another point which you have to stress here, let me tell you, see, last year when I taught you final accounts, I told adjustment appear in two places, either in trading or profit and loss account and in balance sheet. The same rule is applicable here. So we saw two adjustments, isn't it? We saw an adjustment for subscription. You have subscription accrued. Subscription accrued is income accrued. It is an asset. It will appear in the asset side of balance sheet. Now, this 1500 will not appear in the balance sheet because it is previous year's outstanding received this year. So, if at all you have previous year's outstanding in the question, it has to be subtracted. Okay? Then, current year, if you have prepaid or subscription received in advance, so this 500 actually belongs to next year's subscription, but we have received in advance this year itself. So it is a liability. It is income received in advance. This will appear in the liability side of the balance sheet. Even though we are not dealing with balance sheet, it is better if you get an idea of these items. Now coming to interest. Bank interest. It is again income accrued, income receivable. It is an asset. It will appear in the asset side of the balance sheet. Okay. Now coming to the all the students, there is another printing error. This is not expenditure, isn't it? And this is not income. What is this? This is actually receipts and this is actually payment. So there are some printing errors in your NCERT. It's okay, we will rectify. You all are going to become future accountants, auditors. You have to rectify errors. So all the receipts will go to income side and all the payment will go to expenditure side. All revenue receipts will go to income side. All revenue payments will go to expenditure side. Okay. Now coming to payments. Purchase of furniture is an asset. It will not appear in your expenditure side because it is a capital expenditure. Salary, telephone, electricity, postage will appear in the expense side. Purchase of books is an asset. It will not appear in the income and expenditure account. Entertainment expense, yes, it will appear in expenditure side. Then purchase of 5% government papers. Government paper is not newspaper, it is government bonds. It is an investment. So when you purchase an investment, 8,000 will appear in the asset side of the balance sheet. However, you have to calculate interest on this investment, that is 8,000. So 8,000 into 5 by 100 into, it was purchased on October. So from October to March of the next year, October, November, December, January, February, March, 6 months, 6 by 12. So you have to do 8,000 into 5 by 100 into 6 by 12. Okay. And you will get the interest. This interest is an income. It will appear in the income side. See, you have interest on investment. It is this interest. Okay. And since this interest is not appearing in the receipt side, it means we have to receive this interest. We have not yet received. So it is an income accrued. It will appear in the balance sheet asset side also. Next, miscellaneous expense. Yes, it is an expense. It will appear in the expenditure side. Cash in hand and cash at bank are assets. It will appear in the asset side of balance sheet. Coming to the adjustments. What did it tell? Adjustments will appear in two places. Salary outstanding will be added with the respective salary, and salary outstanding 1500 will appear in the liability side of the balance sheet. The same thing is applicable for entertainment expenses, added with the respective expense, it is added, and 500 will be shown in liability side of the balance sheet. Then what else we have? Bank interest I have dealt with. Subscription accrued over. 50% of entrance fee is to be capitalized. Okay, so here it is clearly mentioned that 50% of entrance fee is to be capitalized. So in this question, 250 will appear in the income side. They have not shown it, children. It is an error, but you have to show. So entrance fee 250 will appear in the income side, and the remaining 250 will be capitalized, which means it will be added with capital fund in the liability side of the balance sheet. Now, since adjustment 5 is given, it has to be dealt accordingly. However, if adjustment 5 was not there, then the entire amount rupees 500 will appear in the income side. Okay, keep that in mind. It's an important note. Last, furniture depreciated as at 10%. So where is furniture? Have you purchased furniture? Yes, you have purchased furniture 5,000. So on 5,000 we have to calculate 10%. But here it is given, it is purchased on 1st July 2014. So from July to March we have July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, 9 months. So on 5,000 we have to calculate 10% depreciation for 9 months. Okay, this depreciation amount will appear in the expenditure side, and the same depreciation amount has to be subtracted from the respective asset, furniture, in the asset side. So the same depreciation will be subtracted from the respective furniture account in the asset side of the balance sheet. Okay, students. Now let us see exercise question number 2, page number 49. Okay, the receipts and payment account of Harmonium Charitable Institution is given. You have the receipts and payment account. You have to prepare income and expenditure account for the year ended 31st March 2015. Now let us see the adjustments. You have liabilities to be provided for. Liabilities to be provided for means outstanding expenses. So you have rent outstanding, salary outstanding, and advertisement outstanding. Then rupees 2,000 due for interest on investment was not actually received. So it is income accrued. Okay. Now we will see how to solve the sum. Heading you have to write in the books of Hari Mohan. I'm sorry, children. In the books of Hari Mohan Charitable Institution, you can write for the year ending 31st March 2015 income and expenditure account. Now opening balance will not come. Rest all the revenue receipts will go to the income side, and all revenue payment will go to the expenditure side. Okay. So donation, it is just mentioned donation. So it is general in nature. General donations is revenue. It will appear in the income side. Subscription, income side. Endowment fund. Now endowment fund is actually a specific fund. Endowment fund is a specific fund, means it is for a specific purpose. And what is this endowment fund? You might have seen in morning assembly children getting certificates, isn't it? Scholarship award for merit, school first, school second, school third. It is through the endowment fund. So someone would have left a fund. It is somewhat similar to legacy, but here the money is invested, and the interest from the money invested is used for the purpose, specific purpose. Okay, So that is why it is an endowment fund. So someone left a huge money and told it must be used for the prize winners, or it should be used for the rank holders. So the rank holders of 10th and 12th standard receive the endowment fund certificates, merit certificates with scholarship money, cash awards. Okay, so endowment fund is capital in nature. It will appear in the liability side of the balance sheet. Okay, then what else we have? Legacy. Now legacy is similar to endowment fund, but it is not invested, it is bequest. Legacy is actually a will. When a person dies, he writes in a will that this money is going to the charitable institution. So legacy are of two types, general and specific. So here it is just mentioned legacy, so legacy will appear in the income side. However, if it was a specific legacy, it would appear in liability side. So this legacy will appear in the income side of income and expenditure account. Okay. Then we have interest on investment. Yes, it is a recurring income, so it will appear in the income side. Interest on deposit also income side. Sale of old newspapers. Now don't tell me, madam, we don't sell old newspaper every now and then. We sell it every month. So it is a recurring income. So income side. Donation for building. See here you can see it is a specific donation. So donation for building will appear in the liability side of the balance sheet. It will not appear in income and expenditure account as it is a specific donation. The same thing is applicable for legacy also. The legacy, the next item is legacy for building. So legacy for building is a specific legacy. It will appear in the liability side of the balance sheet. Okay. Now coming to the receipts. Furniture and investments are assets. It will go to asset side of balance sheet. Advance for building. Advance for building is also an asset. It is like income paid in advance. Okay. So not income paid in advance, it is a prepaid expenses. You are planning to purchase the building and you have already paid the money. This is also an asset. It will not appear in expenses. Now charity, salary, rent and tax, printing, postage, advertisement and insurance. From charity till insurance, all these are revenue expenses. It will appear in expenditure side. Cash in hand and cash at bank, asset side of balance sheet. Now coming to the adjustments, rent, salary outstanding, advertisement outstanding, all these have to be added with the respective expenses in the expenditure side. So in expenditure side you are supposed to show 400 plus 4000 plus 800, 4800. So 4800 will appear in the expenditure side, and this 800 will appear in the liability side of the balance sheet. Similarly, salary 10,400 plus 1,200, 11,600 expenditure side, and 1,200 will appear in the liability side of the balance sheet. The same thing is applicable for advertisement also. 1,100 plus 200 will appear in expenditure side, and 200 will appear in the liability side of the balance sheet. Now you have interest on investments. So we have interest on investment here 3,800. With 3,800 we have to add 2,000. 5,800 will appear in the income side, and 2,000 alone will appear in the asset side of the balance sheet as income accrued. Okay. So do this sum. So with this video is, I'm ending this video. We'll meet in our next class. Stay safe, stay happy. Okay. and keep learning.